Hello traders everywhere, Adam Hewison here with your midday market report for Friday the 16th of August. Well, we're halfway through the month of August, but is gold indicating that there's trouble ahead? We just had a major buy signal on one of the gold stocks today, which I want to share with you, but I'll also share with you the gold spot market and what that's doing too. It's another trading week. It's coming to a close. We are at a 9-week high on gold on a closing level, and that's a significant event in our opinion. Also, George Soros got out of his gold last month and the month before, so that was his long position. So it could be ironic. We'll see what happens, but let's go to the charts and see what they're saying. We're going to cover some stocks as well as our major markets, so we got a lot to cover this pre-weekend. So let's get started. So right to our portfolio. Starting with Apple, we're very, very bullish on Apple. Icon came out with his thing and also Icon came out with his tweet a few days ago, pushed the stock up. You got George Soros coming into this market, a lot of heavy hitters. You can see we've created a big base. We're going to go higher in Apple, and we can see this market just on a weekly basis. Let's get closer. On a weekly basis, look at how this market's closing. Boom, huge week for Apple. So let's see how that plays out next week, and we'll go back to our daily chart and on to our next market. Next market's going to be Amazon. What's interesting about Amazon to us is this. I'm going to show you a little bit more of the chart, and you'll get an idea. If we measure from this point here to this point here, it gives us a pretty close to a Fibonacci 61% retracement. Let's just go there. Like that, close this in a little bit so we can see what's going on, and put our trade triangles up there. You see our monthly trade triangle, which is the one that gives us the big trend that's still positive. We've come back into an area that I believe is going to be support for Amazon. Very, very bullish on the stock longer term. I buy all my stuff there. All my friends buy all the stuff there. I'm sure you do too. Amazon is a juggernaut. It's going to be very hard to stop, and with Jeff Bezos buying the Washington Post, who knows what political ramifications that will have for Amazon and the internet. So let's see how that plays out. But I think picking up some stock of Amazon right here would not be a bad idea. I don't think the risk is that bad. I think we're coming down to a support area. What you may want to do, if you want to be a little bit more conservative, is wait for our trade triangles, the weekly one to turn green. That's a buy signal. And also wait for the MACD to turn up, which is still down. That's a little bit more of a conservative strategy. Moving on to Netflix, which we really like. This market's putting in a big performance. It was down a lot today. Yesterday, I'm not sure why, but it picked up today. But we have all of our trade triangles, the weekly and the monthly, still positive. And on a weekly basis, Amazon is going to be closing very, very well for the week. So let's see how that plays out next week. Generally speaking, we're looking for Amazon to go to 300. So there it is. There's a Rand Gold. And you can see all of our trade triangles are 100%. We'll go on to a daily. And you can see a daily big move. There's the monthly kicked in today. And if you scope this out just a bit further, you can see we've actually got a nice sort of base building. It's not complete, but it's very, very close. So you could draw, I should say, a trend line from this area right here down to here. And you could say this is a head and shoulders. And I think that's a pretty good mark. It would be, or is, a head and shoulders. We haven't got the confirmation on the spot market yet, but this looks like it's beginning to build that base we like to see. There's the breakout we consider. There's the monthly kicked in. All of our trade triangles are green, indicating a strong upward trend. MACD positive. We're looking for the stock to go higher. I think the low is 60, so I think from 75 to 60, $15. We could be up to the $90, $95 range in the not too distant future. But let's see what happens at the spot. That's very, very important. Let's clear the screen and go to our next market, and that's the Dow. Dow's had the pullback we expected to see, and if we get a little closer in, let's just do 6 months and actually do 3 months, and just put a Fibonacci in here real fast for everybody to see. And we're getting down to the Fibonacci levels. We thought this is where the market would find support right around these levels. 15.1 to 15,000. I think that's going to be an area that this market's going to find support. Now, obviously, the weekly kicked in quite some time ago. You're going to see this kicked in several days ago, indicating to be out of this market. And of course, you've avoided this pullback. But now we're looking to get back in when we see some stabilization. And that may come actually just after the month of August. I said for the month of August, we could see this market just going sideways to really not going anywhere. So looking onto the S&P 500, a little bit of doji across here. Still like this market longer term. We do have a weekly that's in play place indicating that you should be out of this market, at least timing-wise. And longer term, it still looks good to us. On the NASDAQ, which is obviously very Apple-centric right now, still very positive. We're looking for this to go higher. We still like this very, very much. So moving along to our next market. Got a lot to cover today. This is crude oil. Crude oil just touched the 108 level today, came back, but on a weekly basis, this is looking very, very good. You can see a strong week covered the previous week. This is going to be, if we close up here, this will be the second highest close we've seen for the year in this market. So be careful. The Egyptian thing is just a disaster continuing to unfold, and that could have real ramifications throughout the entire area. So you've got your intermediate term trend is down, the long term monthly is up, and the daily is up. Now we're just waiting for this to turn around. This is the weekly. We see this market move over 109 level. Everything gets into accelerated mode on the upside, so watch that very carefully. 109 next week. Moving on to gold, you can see this is put a very, very good performance in on a weekly basis. You've got the daily and the weekly positive, which that's how we trade, if you remember. But this is a 9-week high close in gold, and it's really, really trying. This is a weekly chart. We're really trying to see this market try to build that base, and this is looking more and more positive. You've got the MACD going. All we need now is just the monthly to kick in, and I think we'll have to wait until probably September before that kicks in. We'll just be patient and see what happens. And on the euro is still at the 134 level resistance, still going to close up really nicely for the week. And if you put a weekly chart in here, I'll just do that really, I should say probably flat for the week, but a little bit higher for the week. And this is going to be the highest close in the euro even on the Friday, even over the previous highs that we saw. So its trend is definitely a plus 100, and we're looking for this market to go higher. So the last move we want to look at is just the Japanese yen versus the dollar. Pretty much the 101 levels resistance. We're still sort of in a trading range. I wouldn't be so excited about pushing the market down at these levels. I'm a little bit more friendly longer term to being long the dollar, short the yen, but it's not there yet. We've got a mixed bag, 60 minus 60 is a trading range. So that's it for today. Hey, listen, everybody have a great weekend. I'll be back on Monday. I'll be back in Maryland at that point in time, and we'll be talking about the markets. We'll be looking at some stocks in depth and some other markets that we're seeing that we want to put on that blueprint for success we talk about. So I'll see you Monday. Have a great weekend, everyone.
You can find Adam Hewison as a regular contributor on Bloomberg, Business News Network, CNBC, and Fox Business News.